Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Helmets of the World. I'm Mike B, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Israeli M1976 Orlite combat helmet. Now, the 76 designation is more of just a collector's nomenclature because there were some that were fielded and tested before then, and there's some that were modified and kind of upgraded versions of this that hit the field like in 1980, but overall the design was implemented as a whole and pretty much made official in the Israeli military around 1976. That's where that nomenclature comes from. Now, the reason it's called an Orlite helmet is because it's made out of a material that is similar to ballistic nylon. It's kind of like a polymer-based something, and it resembles ballistic nylon in its performance and kind of feel, and we'll get to that in a second. Orlite's actually, it's a weird material, but it was arguably, this helmet was the first ballistic helmet that was made out of composite material that was actually fielded to an entire military, like at an infantry level and everyday combat level, and not just for a specialty purpose. So this is kind of the granddaddy of the composite helmets. Now, you can just see the shape overall is pretty interesting because a lot of countries, Great Britain, even until a couple years ago, tried to stay away from the German kind of, signature swoop down ear thing because of the idealistic crap that was, well, we don't want to look like Nazis. Well, they had a great idea going for a design, so everybody was going with the M1 or the Brody helmet or some adaptation. Well, the Israelis of all people decided that, hey, it is a good design, so they kind of went with the defined slope that goes down and kind of protects the ears and stuff. And it was really cool that they designed this in such a way that if you look at this, if this damn head would just stay up, it's actually quite low profile. You don't have the big jutting out of the ears like you do on like the later Pazget and other like the Schubert helmets. You've got like a pretty straight dome-shaped design with that incorporated ear swoop. So it's really interesting to see that. It's a really neat design, actually. It's, again, very low profile. I find it very comfortable. And we'll take a look at the liner really quick. So it's the US style, the US later M1 style liner. It's made out of nylon. It's got a leather sweatband. In fact, yeah, no, it's Israeli made. And this one, it's also the company's name was Orlite, and they kind of just called the material that. I don't know the exact name of it, but yeah, so there's the tag for this, and then you can see that. It's pretty interesting. It's got the original tag, and this is a size medium. I don't know if I can get that on there. Yep, there we go, right there, perfect. Wow, I'm getting better at these camera angles. So it's a size medium, so it fits about a 55 to 59 realistically, or more likely 58. To account for like bubbling if you actually get hit. Wow, that pad broke. That sucks. When I got this, there was a rubber pad in the back, there was a rubber pad in the front, and there was a rubber pad on the dome. Those have since kind of disintegrated because I'm pretty sure this is an earlier one. I don't know if there's actually a date on here. Let me check really quick. Yeah, there's not a date on here. So I'm guessing this is from the early 80s, possibly mid 80s, just due to the kind of decrepitness of the foam, but the other good condition of the overall helmet itself. You can see these little foam spacers in there too by the ears on both sides. Sorry about that. And yeah, it's just a really cool design, very comfortable. The chin strap is actually pretty cool. It's a 3-point chin strap, right? And you've got this split design, and it's just really nice. It's a padded design. This is one I got years ago, and it was sitting in my basement for whatever reason. I didn't have it on display, and now I do. So, yeah, this is a really interesting design. And what's really interesting is that the later versions kind of they swoop down even more. It's a more defined swoop down, and they have I'm pretty sure they have an olive drab rim on them, so I'll have to keep one of those. I do get those once in a while in my shop, so if you haven't signed up for the newsletter on mikesmilitary.com, I'm going to definitely do a shameless plug there. Go ahead and do that, because I do get the later versions sometimes. And what's weird with the later versions is most of them have US Pazget sweatbands in them. They don't have this foam stuff, and the chin strap's a little bit different, but they're still Israeli used, and most of them have the holes drilled out for the riot shields, because when they phased out the Orlite for the, you got me. All right, I just screwed the pooch on that one. I don't remember what these are replaced with. I will research that after the video and hopefully get an example. They ended up issuing these Orlite helmets to police and other like reserve units and stuff that were using the steel helmet even at that point, because these did replace the model 1966 M1, the Israeli M1. and they were in use until the 1990s and later, especially by those units that I just mentioned. So they had a pretty decent service life, and what it did is it just kind of brought the world from one generation of headwear from the modern times, actually employing headwear on the soldier's uniform, now to a different material made out of composite, and it's more lightweight, and this apparently provides the same ballistic protection as some steel helmet they compared it to. I have not ballistically tested one of these. That's actually on the schedule, but we'll get there eventually, all in good time. So anyway, I like this design. I think it's a really iconic design. It's not very well known by a lot of collectors. I would highly recommend, if you get into helmet collecting, get one of these just to have as an example of one of the earliest composite helmets that was actually adopted on a large scale by any actually established organized nation. So that's all I've really got about this helmet, just the overall kind of details. And if you got any questions, feel free to shoot a comment down below, and if I know, I'll answer. If not, I'll call on my esteemed colleague, Devin K., to either give me the answer or just comment on your comment, because he lurks on my channel quite often. Anyway, I appreciate you watching. Please do consider supporting my channel. My work like this is really fun. I like doing it, but in order to get examples like this and to show you a tangible piece of history instead of just talking about it, it does require money, and I am 100% viewer funded on Patreon. Patreon is really easy. It's a great way for me to interact with you on a non-forgetting about you, because I have a million people that have donated level. It's very interactive. I post exclusive content on there. You get polls, just fun interactive posts and stuff. And you get Discord access. If you have Discord, you do $5 a month or more, and you get Discord access. And I'm on there pretty much all the time. So consider supporting the channel on there if you like this video. If not, I get it, and I appreciate you watching. And I hope you learned something. And we will see you on the next episode of Helmets of the World.